There are many women in this life who are admired, praised, celebrated, and desired, but only a few carry the evidence that the hand of God is truly upon them. And if you are listening to me right now, I want you to hear this with attention. Being blessed by God is not just having beauty, money, success, or attention. It is having a destiny marked by heaven. It is being chosen, preserved, equipped, and empowered for a purpose bigger than yourself. Many women want honor, but honor is not pursued. Honor is attracted when the seal of God is upon your life. And today I want to speak to the woman who sometimes wonders, am I seen? Am I noticed? Am I valued? Does God truly know my name? The answer is yes. You are known, you are seen, you are chosen. And there are signs, undeniable signs, that heaven has placed a blessing upon you. The first sign, you have endured battles that others do not understand. When God blesses a woman, the enemy recognizes it before she does. Many of the tears you cried were not because you were weak, but because you are chosen. The warfare around your life is proof that there is something dangerous about your future. Every woman blessed by God has a story of pain that forced her to pray, a season of silence that forced her to trust, and a phase of rejection that taught her to depend only on God. You may not know it, but those scars are proof that heaven invested something in you. The second sign, you carry a hunger for God that you cannot explain. Even when you tried to drift away, something kept pulling you back. When you sinned, conviction followed you. When you ignored the voice of God, your spirit remained restless. You don't just want a good life, you want a God life. You don't just want success, you want alignment. You don't just want marriage, you want destiny partnership. That longing inside you is not normal. It is the fingerprint of God upon your heart. The third sign, God has separated you. Not everyone can stay in your life. Not everyone can walk with you. There were people you loved deeply, yet God removed them. There were relationships you prayed to keep, yet God closed the door. Listen, separation is not abandonment, it is preservation. Some of the people you lost were never assigned to your future. A blessed woman is not popular, she's kept. She's hidden until the appointed time, and when God reveals her, she will not need validation because destiny will speak for her. The fourth sign, your presence brings peace, wisdom, and spiritual strength. There is something about you that people cannot explain, a grace, a calmness, a dignity, a strength. When you speak, people listen. When you pray, things shift. When you love, it heals. When you forgive, it disarms darkness. A blessed woman is not loud, she is impactful. She doesn't need to announce herself. Her character reveals her identity. The beauty of a blessed woman is not in how she looks, but in what she carries. And the fifth sign, everything in your life is being aligned for purpose, even the things that didn't make sense. Every delay, every closed door, every heartbreak, every disappointment, God is using it. He is shaping you into a vessel that cannot be destroyed. Hear me, your steps are ordered. Your season is coming. Your story will not end in tears, it will end in testimony. Because a woman blessed by God is not defined by where she is defined by what God has spoken about her. So listen, woman of God, you are not ordinary, you are not forgotten, you are not random, you are blessed. And the evidence of that blessing has been written into every chapter of your life. And when the time is right, heaven will reveal what hell tried to fight. You are a woman blessed by God. Many times in life, the greatest confirmation that the hand of God is upon you is not comfort, applause, or ease. It is battle, it is pressure, it is resistance that does not match your season. And this is where many fail to discern the workings of God. Because when a woman is chosen, when she carries a prophetic destiny, the warfare against her life begins before the revelation of her assignment. You may not understand why certain things happen to you so early, why pain visited you at an age where you were too young to defend yourself, why life forced you to grow before you were ready. But the secret is this: the enemy saw something you had not yet discovered. A blessed woman does not go through ordinary warfare. Her tears are prophetic, her battles are intentional. Hell responds to the mark of heaven. There are women listening to me right now. You have faced rejection, betrayal, disappointment, and confusion. You have cried prayers you could not explain. You have fought battles you did not start. You have survived storms that should have broken you. And in the silence of those dark seasons, you questioned yourself. You wondered, why me? Why is my journey so heavy? Why do others walk freely while I am always fighting? But hear this: Pressure is not a sign that God left you. It is proof that he trusted you. The weight you carry is equal to the assignment you have been given. Nothing about your life is accidental. There were relationships you wanted to keep, but God removed them. There were doors you desperately wanted to walk through, but God shut them. There were seasons where you felt isolated, not because you were worthless, but because you were being separated. A blessed woman is not allowed to blend in. God will not allow everyone access to her heart, her mind, and her destiny. Separation feels painful, but it is divine strategy. God isolates the vessel he intends to use. He separates so he can sanctify. He sanctifies so he can prepare, and he prepares so he can reveal. When a woman is blessed, she cannot walk through life casually. Every connection, every moment, every decision becomes part of a larger spiritual blueprint. The people who left you were not rejected, they were misaligned. There were friendships you prayed to save, but God was saving you. If some people remained in your life, they would have contaminated your destiny or delayed your assignment. So God, in his mercy, removed what you begged him to keep. You didn't lose them, you were preserved. And sometimes the separation was internal. Your mindset shifted. What used to interest you began to feel empty. Environments that once felt comfortable now felt draining. Conversations you used to enjoy became spiritually irritating. This is because God was leading you into maturity. There are places your spirit could no longer survive. Growth demands sacrifice. Destiny demands discipline. Glory demands pruning. You were not changing randomly, you were being transformed. The battles you faced were spiritual training. The warfare sharpened your discernment. The loneliness taught you to pray. The betrayal taught you to trust God and not people. The delays taught you patience. The disappointments taught you surrender. The tears taught you intimacy. And every season that looked like loss was actually preparation for elevation. A blessed woman does not rise by comfort, she rises by endurance. You may not have understood the spiritual reason behind your storms, but now listen carefully. The devil does not waste energy on the insignificant. He only attacks what threatens him. The resistance you experience is proof of the weight you carry in the spirit. The battles you face did not come to destroy you, they came to reveal you. Everything you survived became evidence of the blessing resting upon your life. The fact that you are still standing, still believing, still hoping, still praying, that alone is proof that you are preserved. Because many went through less and never recovered. Many faced lighter storms and never found themselves again. But you, even broken, even wounded, even unsure, kept moving. And now, what you call struggle, heaven calls training. What you called rejection, heaven calls redirection. What you called loss, heaven calls alignment. The battles were never punishment, they were confirmation that your destiny is too great to remain unchallenged. And the separation was never abandonment, it was God safeguarding his investment in you. A blessed woman is not recognized first by success, she's recognized by survival. She carries silent victories, she carries scars that became testimonies, she carries strength born from adversity. And long before anyone sees her crown, she survives her cross. There is a kind of hunger that is not emotional, intellectual, or habitual. It is spiritual. It is the pull of eternity calling you into alignment. And when a woman is blessed by God, something inside her refuses to settle for an ordinary life. You may not fully understand it, you may not even be able to explain it, but deep within, there is a longing that never leaves. A longing for God, a longing for truth, a longing for purity, a longing for something deeper than what this world can offer. That hunger is not normal, it is proof that heaven has marked you. Even when you try to live casually, something in you felt disconnected. When others could ignore God and feel fine, you felt unsettled. When others could compromise and sleep peacefully, conviction followed you like a shadow. When you drifted, you felt empty. When you tried to silence God's voice, it grew louder in your spirit. You could enjoy many things, but sin was never one of them. You could participate in shallow conversations, but your spirit remained unsatisfied. This is the evidence of divine pursuit. God did not let you go because he intends to use you. A woman who is blessed by God may not always have perfect discipline, but she will always have a longing to return. She may stumble, but she cannot remain fallen. She may get distracted, but something always pulls her back. She may have seasons of silence, but she cannot run from the one who called her. There are days she feels distant but never disconnected. There are moments she feels unworthy, but never forgotten. The hunger remains because it is God who planted it. This hunger shapes her desires. She does not seek love randomly, she seeks alignment. She does not pursue relationships for validation, she seeks purpose. She does not pray because life is heavy, she prays because her spirit recognizes its source. When she worships, she feels alive. When she sits under the presence of God, she feels understood. When she reads scripture, something awakens within her. Her spirit responds to God like a child recognizing its father's voice. And sometimes this hunger isolates her. She realizes she cannot find fulfillment in things others chase. Parties do not satisfy her. Attention does not fulfill her. Status does not complete her. Something in her spirit whispers, there is more. And because of that whisper, she cannot remain where others settle. She cannot be content with shallow spirituality. She cannot live a life without meaning. She's being drawn into depth. This hunger also becomes a filter. It exposes relationships that are not aligned with her destiny. Anyone who tries to disconnect her from God begins to lose access to her heart. Anyone who interrupts her peace becomes limited in influence. Anyone who mocks her spiritual hunger eventually fades from her journey, because God will not allow someone he has chosen to remain tied to what weakens her. There are moments where she doesn't even know why she's crying in prayer, yet she knows something is shifting. She may not hear God speak audibly, yet she feels his presence guiding her. She may not have all the answers, yet she senses direction. Her walk with God becomes less about religion and more about relationship. She seeks him not because she fears punishment, but because she desires his presence. She doesn't pray just for blessings, she prays for alignment. She doesn't worship just for breakthrough, she worships because she knows he is worthy. And even in seasons where God feels silent, the hunger remains. She doesn't give up, because silence to a chosen vessel is not absence, it is training. Silence produces depth. Silence tests faith. Silence purifies motives. Silence prepares her for clarity. And even in silence, she remains connected, because the love she carries for God is not built on feelings, it is built on transformation. A blessed woman is not identified by how loud her spirituality appears, but by how deeply her spirit responds to God. She carries a sensitivity that cannot be taught. She knows when God is speaking. She knows when a door is not hers. She knows when a relationship is not aligned. She knows when her spirit is grieved. This discernment is evidence of intimacy. And even if she is still learning, still growing, still healing, her hunger is proof that God has already claimed her heart. She may not be where she wants to be, but she's no longer who she used to be. She is in transition, drawn, pursued, and transformed by the God who loves her too deeply to leave her ordinary. There is something unmistakable about a woman who is blessed by God. She carries an atmosphere, a presence, a grace that cannot be explained by training, beauty, or personality. It is not arrogance, and it is not performance. It is a quiet but undeniable weight of influence that follows her wherever she goes. Her words may be few, but they carry depth. Her voice may be soft, but it carries authority. Her presence may not be loud, but it carries peace. This kind of woman does not strive to be seen, yet she cannot be ignored. People may not always understand her, but they sense something about her. When she enters a room, the atmosphere shifts. When she speaks, hearts soften, clarity returns, confusion breaks, and perspective aligns. She does not force impact, she embodies it. Her influence is not earned through competition or comparison, it is bestowed by heaven. She carries what the Bible calls virtue, not just morality, but spiritual substance. This kind of woman has learned that true power is not in dominating others, but in mastering herself. She speaks with wisdom, not impulse. She responds in patience, not anger. She leads with grace, not pride. She forgives, not because she is weak, but because she recognizes that forgiveness is a gate for elevation. She refuses to allow bitterness to contaminate her spirit. She's in